Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Fair M, and we're going to finish up Act 1 today by hearing from Lord Mountney in Act 1, Scene 4, which is a scene that's rather like a scene from Love's Labour's Lost, if I'm perfectly honest. But anyway, that aside, we have... yesterday we heard from Manville, who is a nobleman, but he's hiding, or he's in disguise as a countryman so that he can try to court Fair M, who's actually sort of a noblewoman herself, but she and her father, the miller, have been banished, so they are living a more peaceful life, a life of the peasantry as millers. And meantime, we also have William the Conqueror, who traveled in disguise because he fell in love with a picture of a woman named Blanche that was painted on Lubbock's shield. But when he saw Blanche, he thought that she was way less attractive than her picture was, and decided that he wants to court Mariana instead, who Lubbock is actually courting. And Blanche thought that William the Conqueror was kind of cute. So anyway, yesterday we got to see Manville talking about how he wants to love M, even though there's this status difference, this social class difference between them. But then at the end of his little speech, he sees that somebody else is coming in, so he hides. He hides from Vallingford, who is actually one of William the Conqueror's men who traveled with him. And he comes in, Vallingford comes in, and he's like, you know, William, go court who you want to court. I want to court M, the miller's daughter, because she's so beautiful. And Manville is like, oh wow, he's after the same person. Oh, here comes somebody else. In comes Lord Mountney, who says, nature unjust in utterance of thy art, to grace a peasant with a prince's fame. Peasant I am, so to misterm my love. Although a miller's daughter by her birth, yet may her beauty and her virtues well suffice to hide the blemish of her birth in hell, where neither envious eyes nor thought can pierce, but endless darkness ever smother it. Go, William Conqueror, and seek thy love, whilst I draw back and court mine own the while, decking her body with such costly robes as may become her beauty's worthiness, that so thy labours may be laughed to scorn, and she thou seek'st in foreign regions be darkened and eclipsed when she arrives by one that I have chosen nearer home. So Lord Mountney is also in love with Fair M, the miller's daughter, and he's a lord, but he's sort of disguised as a countryman. So we've got three sort of noble gentlemen disguised as countrymen who are all in love with the same peasant woman who's actually a noble woman that has been banished and has to live a life of the peasantry. But he's basically saying, you know, she's so beautiful, but please, like, keep her safe and keep her mine so that I can have her. Similar to Vallingford, he's like, William, you go find your love. I'm going to keep mine. She is more beautiful than yours. Anyway, so after hearing this, Manville is like, oh my goodness, now there's two other men that are going to be fighting for her. I better make sure that I have the best vantage point. And he runs away to like make his plans. Meanwhile, Vallingford and Mountney know each other, and they're like, hey, what are you doing here? Hey, what are you doing here? And they're like, oh, you know, I happened to see the most beautiful lady. And they're like, oh, really? I did too. And they discover that they are both in love with the same woman. It's cute and comical. The, oh, I've fallen in love. Oh, who did you fall in love with? Oh, the most fair miller's daughter. No, that can't be. And why can't I fall in love with a miller's daughter? Because I'm also in love with a miller's daughter. That kind of cute little, not quite a meet cute, but it's verging on rom-com territory. So yeah, we've got the three of them all in love. Vallingford and Mountney know that they're in love with the same woman, and they end the scene with sort of a, all right, whichever one of us she chooses, we will subscribe to that, and whoever loses will just sort of back off, and whoever she chooses wins and can have her. So let's go to it. So that's the end of Act 1, Scene 4, which is also the end of Act 1. And this scene just reminds me a little bit of Love's Labour's Lost, because there's that scene where each of the gentlemen come in reading a letter to their lady, and then as they see the next guy come in, they like back up into the bushes so that they can hear the next guy. So this one isn't quite that dramatic. It's really just Manville that's hiding. But again, as we're trying to figure out, is this a Shakespearean piece? Is this not a Shakespearean piece? I can definitely see elements of that, or maybe that idea was taken from this and used in that, or something along those lines. Theoretically, I don't know. The experts say this wasn't written by Shakespeare anyway. But come on back tomorrow for more as we dig into Act 2, and we'll see where all of these confused love triangles and cubes and all of that happen to go. I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.